Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for the first video of the day, I'm going to be doing a not a makeup tutorial. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, and there was a request about my eye makeup and that I do an eye makeup tutorial. There was also a request about eyebrows. I did mine already. It takes me a goodly amount of time to get them done, especially when I'm recovering from headache days. But I did mine. I will have to do an entire video just about how I do my eyebrows. You may find it helpful. It's time to go get them shaped, so yeah, they're a little off today. But for today's video, I'm going to do my best to remember to tell you what I'm using. To cut time off on this, I've already done my moisturizing, which you all know I use a Pond's cream, just plain old ordinary Pond's cream with the little blue cap. Works for me, nothing fancy schmancy. And I've also done all of my priming, all the base stuff. I've been using this Revolution set. It's a cannabis infused. So I started off with this purifying water. Again, Revolution. I bought it at the Ulta. It's really inexpensive and it smells wonderful. It's refreshing and it's lovely. For my eyes, the eye primer I use is this NYX Ultimate. It's just a little wand and I put it on, pat it out and let it dry. The lip oil that I've put on because moisturize my lips while I'm doing the rest of my makeup is from the same Revolution cannabis infused line. This one is Chilled Balm. It's really nice. It feels good. It's minty and it's soft. It feels good. Now I did darken my eyebrows a little bit, and again, this is Revolution. And this one I picked out for medium brown, which I think totally goes with my medium brown. But this one is the same, I think it's in the same line as all of the rest. It's got the cool lid. So that's what I've done so far. I think get started with my eyebrows. Now, yes, I am speaking slowly. It's early in the morning. I've totally cut out coffee from my life. I was drinking coffee last week. This is unrelated. But I started to get nauseous drinking the coffee, and maybe it was too hot, maybe, the weather, maybe whatever. I was just like, whatever. So I stopped drinking it, so I'm a little sluggish first thing in the morning without it. And I haven't had a chance, because it's early, to drink all the water that I need to drink before noon to feel normal. So, all right, that being said, I'm going to get on with what I'm doing. So when I did my eyebrows, I cut them in with the newest foundation and concealer that I've been using. This one is pretty fresh. It's from ColourPop. It's really lightweight and it feels good on my skin. It's not overly cakey and it's not overly cakey. You really in person can't tell that I'm wearing foundation. It's nice. It feels like my skin. Okay, and it looks like my skin. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a heavy foundation. Okay, so to get started on my eyes, now that everything is nice and set, I have two eyeshadow palettes. I've totally been obsessed with the greens from this. So, been obsessed with this palette. You can see I'm already used it a lot. The only one that I haven't really used much is this silver glitter. Yeah, I don't have really good luck with glitter on my eyes. I tend to get it in my eyes. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. I'm going to not sit crisscross in the chair. That's not good. All right, and then the second, for some black shades, I'm going with the ColourPop Blow and Smoke, and I'll probably use the so you don't get glare, probably use this one and this one. So yeah, that'll darken up that outside. So let's grab a couple of brushes. I've got all of these brushes. I got a set of Morphe brushes, and it was all just for eyes, and this is just the angled floofy brush, and I'm cool with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy business card here, and I'm going to dip into this dark color here. It's called Inner Child, and also this color right next to it, which is called Energy. And I'm going to start and just work in the outer corner. Just to give me some angle, and I'm going to also put I'm going to be working out of my mirror here, because working out of that, the camera isn't good for me. Adjust a little bit. Okay, just putting it in an angle from the business card from the here out to about where my eyebrow ends. And I'm just going to do a little dabby dab and draw in. Yes, they make sticky things that you can put on your face, and some people use Scotch's tape. I just found that this gives me that line that I'm looking for without having to adhere something to my skin. So it's a good cheat. Do the same over here. And you can see I get that nice crisp line. It does get blended out as I'm going along, but I'm going to be coming in just above the crease, just a little bit. Dipping again. Just like so. It must be even. That's the hardest part of doing the eyeballs, is getting them both even. Okay, now I'm going to put this guy down. And I am going to grab a different brush. Not you. Okay, where are you? I've got this brush here. And I'm going into Energy, which is that sparkly shade. And I'm just going to continue this line all the way down to my inner corner here. And I'm doing it lightly. It doesn't need to be super dark. It's just giving me that extra arch in. Same thing on the other side. Hopefully we'll get it at the same arch. A little bit more product. like so. Now I will clean this part up here with a lighter product. So I'm not worried that it's not perfect at this point. Okay. Drop that back in there. Now I'm just going to grab another floofy brush, and I'm going to go in with, bring this up, I'm going to go in with a Manifest mixed with a little bit of this color right here, which is Serenity. And just give this a little bit of a go over. And a little bit of product goes a long way with most of these eyeshadows. So I like to go a little at a time and build up, because it's easier that way than having a whole bunch of product on your face. That's good. Now I'm going to take this brush here.
Yes, dear.
I forgot to say Luna's with us this morning.
Yes, dear. Okay. Can I finish this up? Hmm? Yes.
You love my jewelry box. Okay, so I'm going to just dust this out just a little bit. It's a clean brush, nothing on it. Yes, baby. Yes. What? That's a pencil. Oh, this reorganizing in here, I found lots of things that I didn't remember that I had, and they're laying all over the floor. And one of the things is a pencil. It's a drawing pencil. It has to make its way back to my Potchki. It's one of his from art class. I can't remember what I borrowed it for. I think it was drawing out the quilt design. And
No, it wasn't the quilt design. What was it then? What was it, Smarty Pants? You have something glue in your head.
he's extra today. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and it's lovely. Lovely. Alright, and now I'm going to just put a little bit of concealer in here just to lighten this up a bit. And again, it's the Pretty Fresh from ColourPop. And it's just a little bit, not a lot. But this will do for lightening up that inner corner. And I have a brush that I use for spreading it out, and of course it's missing. So, alright, I'm going to just take the beauty sponge. This one's ready to go into the washing machine. I have a little bag that I put them in, and I wash them on a delicate cycle. So. Okay. That's good. Alright. Now I'm going to be using two different green colors, one for the inner bit and one for the outer bit. I'm going to be using, for the inner part, I'm going to be using Vibrations, and for the outer part, I am going to be using Extra. So I think that would be a good one, a good combination. And we'll start on the outside and then do with the darker color and work in from there. All right. Oh, there you are. Okay, for the outside, we've got the Extra. And I'm just going to be patting it in. These are not super dark colors. You can see they're not super dark, but they're so pretty. Okay. A little bit more. I'm digging it. Okay. So my makeup does take me a goodly amount of time to get on. Just want to stop for a second. So feel free at any point to fast forward through stuff. I use this as a bit of self-care. This routine of putting on my makeup is just something that I take my time with, and again, it's a form of self-care for me. So it's just helpful. Now I'm going to do the inner part with the Vibrations. Now these are very close in color. I don't really want to have that jarring difference between the two. So I'm just going with colors that are close. Sometimes I go with a really light color on the inner corner out to a very dark in the same shade, or in the same shade, in the same color. But here you just get that hint of lightness spreading out, which is something I like too. Okay. Now I've got those lovely colors on. I'm going to take a break from my eyes, and I don't see too much fallout underneath. Might be a little bit of the brown on this side, not a problem. But I'm going to put on foundation. Pumping one single pump onto my hand, and I'm going to dab it on. Like so. Down onto my neck, because yes, we must spread it down our necks. Okay. And I have a cloth on my lap, so I'm just going to wipe off any residue of from my finger and my hand, and then I'm going to take my handy dandy brush and smooth this out. This was a Morphe foundation brush. I actually really like it. It's super soft. have my eye on one of those really fancy brushes I've been seeing on the TikTok to put on foundation. It's supposed to be better even than this, but since I have this, I can't justify purchasing another brush. But it's when this one starts falling apart, that is on my list of 2 purchases. Okay. Now once I have this done, I'm going to grab a sponge out of my handy dandy sponge bag. Got a nice clean sponge right here. Alright, I must have used it to put powder on. Right there. Oh well. But the bottom is nice and clean. So I'm just patting it down. This is one that can be used. This is a sponge that can be used dry or wet. Today I'm choosing dry because I forgot to wet it. Didn't want to pause. There we go. Okay. Looks pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to use the other end and find my setting powder. There you are. I've got this really amazing Beauty Creations banana setting powder. I just tap it out into the lid just a little bit, and then I don't bake. I'm too old for that. All that powder would set into the lines around my eyes, but I do put a little bit of powder underneath to set the makeup right here, so that when I'm putting on the rest of my eye makeup, I do not get the issue with the fallout and it's sticking into the foundation and creating a hot mess. This is the happy medium between not using anything and totally covering that baking process. Okay, so take really quick, where are you? Little brush. There you are. Take this. Just dust off any. Yes, baby. Almost done. Okay, now here's the part where I get, I pull out the Blow and Smoke palette and I set it down. Now, itchy nose. I just add a little bit of dark in this corner out here after I do all of this here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab out, where did you go? I'm going to grab out this brush here, but I'm going to be using this end. Make sure there's nothing on there. There's not. And I am going to take a little bit of Energy, which was that brown without all of the sparkles in it. And I'm going to just put it underneath like so, just to this midpoint here. And I'll do the same over here. Again, I could use an eyeliner, but I really hate eyeliner. I used to use a lot of eyeliner, but I went through a period of not wearing makeup, and then I lost the knack of using it, and I really don't like stabbing myself in the eyeball or the hot mess that it turned into. I like this better. Plus, I don't have to replace as often or worry about keeping it sharpened and figuring out where the sharpener is. This is just much easier to use, have one less product hanging out. So, yes, I'm just drawing this up again over here. What, baby? No, him looks so sad. Him's hanging out over there with him's pouty face on. Yes, you are. You're pouty facing. You're perfectly fine. All right, so for the dark corner, because I want to do that before I do the green, I've got this really amazing brush, and I'm going in with Let's Do It, a little tap in there, and the Midnight Dream. Those are the two dark colors, the black colors from the Blow and Smoke palette. And I just want to, right out here, just give it a little bit of a darkening. So you can see a little bit, it rounds it out just a little bit, and just a little more definition. Yes, baby. Almost done. Almost done. And you can go see your brother. Yeah. He's missing his brother right now. They've been chasing each other and having a good time. Yes, you have. Yeah. I know. You're blinking at me. He's trying to sweet talk me into letting him out, but I am not getting up until this is done. Okay, I'm digging it. Alright, so I'm drop that back over there. And the inner corner here I'm going to do with that really light green. And I've got just one of these brushes. It's called Vibrations, and that's the color I'm using. Yes, baby. You're so handsome. Yes, you are. And I'm just doing that inner corner. And then I'm going to work out into the second color that I used, which is the Extra. Try not to fan the powders into my eyeballs. So we've got the eyeballs did. To that point, I am going to take another clean floof brush and dip into another light fleshy color called Peace, and dust under here. It gives a little bit of a shimmeriness. Under here. Is you purr in? Just like so. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, now I am going to try to remember mascara, but I'm going to do the rest of my makeup first with the blush and highlight. So let's see, I think you are the blush. Yes, I have this really beautiful blush here. Try not to get you the This is Beauty Concepts. It's just a really, really pretty color blush. I didn't even choose it because of the container. I chose it because of this part here. The container is a bonus. Okay, so I take my blush brush, and for that sun-kissed look, I've been playing with the blush and trying to find new ways to do the blush. Typically it's out here, without having it look like, I don't know, my mom's crazy colored blush of the 1980s and early 90s. For years I never wore blush because I couldn't get that out of my mind, and it was in two colors because you did the one on top at the lighter color and underneath you did a darker color, and yeah, they always came in a set from, I think it was Mary Kay that had that, and it was like, oh, and it was never the right color. It was like this, it was so ugly, but that was the thing then, so it was the fashion. I'm sure in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, what I'm doing right now, people will go cringe. Okay, now this is the highlighter I'm going to use, and it's also by Beauty Concepts. It was right next to that one, and I was like, oh, they look lovely together. So just a little bit up here, a little bit up here, not too much. Don't want to look like I'm glowing. We're not that kind of vampire. Okay, looks lovely. I'm good with that. Okay, I'm going to wipe my lips. It's been on there a good amount of time. Okay, and before I put lipstick on, I'm going to put the mascara on. This one is also Revolution. It's called Blowout, and it is cannabis infused. It's got the same nifty container. I do like the applicator. It's nice. I think it's pretty. It's pretty. It is pretty, but it works pretty well. The formula is nice because it's not super clumping, and I don't care what people say in their advertisements for these things. They do clump. It's just not as clumping as some mascaras. Also, it's more natural than some, while still giving you volume, if that makes sense. It's not, it's like, I like my eyelashes. My eyelashes are lovely. I was blessed with nice eyelashes, but they're light, so it's hard to see them. I just mainly use the mascara to give them a little bit of color so you can see them. There we go. Digging it, digging it. Now I did get a little bit of mascara down here. No big to do. I've done worse. I've actually stabbed myself in the eye with the mascara wand before. It's not a good feeling, but I do have a little brush that I can. It's like a magic eraser. It's crazy. See? You can't see it anymore. Magic eraser. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to use the powder. I had another one sitting here. Ah, there you are. This one is a pressed powder. It's a Becca pressed powder. This one is almost gone. Alright, we're using a sponge because my brushes are on the other side of the room. I have 3 different brush containers, but I keep the bigger brushes in a separate, and I hadn't moved them back over yet. I thought I did. So I'm just patting it out. This is probably better anyway. I'm not using a ton. Okay. I am going to put it down on my neck. I didn't do any type of chiseling. I didn't do any type of, I can't even think of the word right now. But just kept my the way it is. So, alright, lipstick, and then we shall be finished with this. And it only took 40 minutes to do. Yay. That's pretty good. Okay. And I have no lip liner. Okay. So it looks like we're just going with lip balm today. No lipstick. This is one of the Revolution lip balms. And that's fine. I'll take it. I'll go with it. If I find a lip liner, I will put on lipstick, but otherwise, there we go. Now I will, one more last step. This is the final step, is the setting spray. I'm a big, huge fan of the Morphe setting spray. This one is amazing, but this one is also lovely. The only thing I don't like is the delivery system. The sprayer is a little, it's not as bad as the Beauty Bakery one where it just sprayed out all in one stream at me. That was disappointing. The formula is amazing, but when it just sprays out as a jet onto my face, that's not exactly it. So I'm holding it back off of camera. And it's a little wet, but I do like the way it smells better than the Morphe. I just wish it was in wish it was in a can like this to spritz. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon for the wrap video.